Hey Maker, Emily here, otherwise known as That Mom with a Laser and the brand ambassador for Aeon Laser USA. Today I'm working on a product for Valentine's Day, and to make this product I'm going to use 3 different types of material. I'm going to work with 1/8 of an inch maple, several different colors of 1/8 of an inch acrylic, as well as veneer. And while I'm making this product, I want to make something that hopefully is going to be attractive to a consumer, but is also easy for me to produce on my end. So I'm going to use a couple of different strategies and techniques to pull that off, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, so I'm going to begin by cutting the backer. It doesn't really matter, the order, but that's just how I started here. I'm using scrap 1/4 inch maple, and please ignore those huge chunky magnets that I'm using to hold everything down. My favorite magnets are at the warehouse, and this is what I have on hand today while I record from home. So here I am just cutting out the backer. This sheet of material already had masking tape on it, and you're gonna see here on the back, I've got a little bit of flashback, but it's not that bad, so I'll just sand that off in a little bit. All right guys, so I'm getting ready to cut my acrylic, so I'm gonna do a couple of things here. I'm gonna take a wet paper towel, I'm gonna lay that on my honeycomb tray here, and the reason I do this is so that you're gonna see that when you cut acrylic without doing this, you get these like gouges on the edge of the acrylic. So this helps you fight against the flashback from the beam, okay? So that you don't get that. But there's one more thing that you can do just to make sure that it stays as smooth as possible, is take either scraps or magnets or honeycomb pins, if that's what you have, and raise the acrylic up off the bed. And this will help you combat that issue with the flashback. So I'm going to go ahead and lay my piece of acrylic here. Now I'm going to move this over here since I'm now scrapping stuff and I don't want it to be unlevel. Okay, now I'm going to get it into focus, and I am going to cut my acrylic. I mirrored the image because I want the score line to be on the inside of my acrylic when I am putting everything together. Image. Okay, so I already did a tester. This was my first one, and it looks like I like to do this when I can, because okay, if I don't have a camera and I can see that I can definitely cut it without having to waste material. I don't know if that makes sense, but pretty much I'm lining up my red dot to see that it lines up there, and I want my red dot to kind of line up right here. And I think I can get away with saving some acrylic here. Instead of just guessing and cutting it over here, I can save a couple of inches of space. I hope that makes sense. All right, here I go. Then we flip it. I flipped it, okay. Yeah, I remember that. All right, so now I'm going to cut the veneer, and I love this stuff. Now this one is an old sheet that I've had forever. This is from Glowforge. It's kind of pricey, but it's really wonderful to work with. And there's a company that I love called Lasered by the Creek. They sell finished veneer. So if you're looking for a place to source it, I would check them out. So I'm going to go ahead and pin this down and run the rest of my job. guys, so I'm cutting out the little hearts that I'm going to drop into this little house. And this is a great file or project to use as like a scrap buster if you have a lot of excess scraps. I got these from Amanda at Cerulean Tides. You know, she's my buddy. And she knew I was going to be ordering acrylic, and she knew I needed these colors. And she's like, you know what? Let's turn it into a scrap buster project. And I was like, yes, give me all the scraps. So this is perfect because now I can use this up for my hearts. And if I want to make earrings, I've got plenty of space here. But this way I can maximize my material and save money. So let's get to it. Now for the spacer, I am taking my 1/4 inch maple and I'm adding 3M double-sided adhesive to both sides. And when you go into the file, you're going to see that it's in the shape of the house. I found that it's very easy to nest together and save a ton of space if you break up the file the way that I've done it for you. But you just, you want to set it aside and you want to set it up and nest it so that you can save material. Because if you're using 3M double-sided adhesive the way I am, well, it makes the process way easier, but it's also a little more costly. So this is just me giving a shout out to my friend Will, because I kept going back and forth on how to do this and save my 3M. And he was like, well, why don't you just break it up and then piece it together kind of like a puzzle, which you'll see in a little bit. That's not what I was doing. So thank you, Will, from the Crazy Laser Dad. This was great. It just made the file work so much better. All right, guys, so now I have my pieces. Everything is cut and ready to assemble. But before I do that, let me point out a few things to you. This is actually attempt number 5 before I got it right and before I got it the way that I wanted it. With attempt number 1, I was using scraps, and I decided I didn't like these colors. I wanted to go with a softer pastel, so I did that. And what else? I engraved the door and hearts, and I felt like it was way too busy. So then I went back to the drawing board, and instead of engraving it, I made another one with a score line, and this one I liked better. But you see I got a heart stuck in there because the material that I changed it to was not thick enough for the heart to fall in. So that was another one that I had to scrap. So far 2 down. Then I felt like, even though I liked the score better than the engrave, I wanted to simplify it even more. So I got rid of the heart windows. But for those of you that end up getting this file, I've left them in so that you can keep them or get rid of them. You choose, I don't care. And then I had one more attempt because I was still trying to perfect, what thickness I wanted this spacer to be, but that one's not here anymore. But my point is, testing can take a while to get things just the right way, okay? During my testing, I used up the rest of my veneer, so I don't have any veneer left to actually show you how to put it together. So instead of veneer this time, I'm gonna use acrylic for my outline, and that just shows how you can mix things up and make them work for you, okay? So here's my little stand. That's easy, you just kind of slide it together. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside for now. And I'm gonna start working from the bottom up. So I'm gonna shift this over. Get that nice and center for you guys. All right, so first I'm gonna do my spacer. So originally, let me see if I show you, hold on. Originally I cut everything as one piece, but this created a lot of waste. So I ended up, as you can see here, breaking up the pieces. I think that goes there, that goes there. All right, so this way I can save material and not be so wasteful. Okay, so bear with me. This is the first time I attempt it this way, and hopefully what I was trying to do, hopefully I'm successful with what I was trying to do. All right. This is actually a lot easier because when I was trying to glue all one piece together, it was hard to get perfect placement. This actually does make it a little easier. So I'm starting from the top, hoping that that's going to be the way to get it all to line up consistently and easily. And really, I'm just feeling along the edges as I'm placing it to make sure that it's flush on the edge. So far, so good. Okay. I think you're here. And I think you're there. Yeah, okay. Is that right? Actually, you might go there. And I think you actually go here, do you? Okay, so they're pretty close. They should be symmetrical, but it is hand drawn, so it's not perfect. I think I need to do it this way. Okay. Okay. Now with the acrylic, you'll notice I flipped the image because I want all of this to actually be on the inside. So it's going to go down like that. And I'm waiting to the end to remove this masking tape so I don't get my fingerprints on it while I'm pressing down. So I'm going to use my plastic eraser here. I'm sorry, plastic razor to take this off. Actually, I might just get Gorilla Tape because this is, well, let's see. All right, so I've removed everything, and now I'm going to flip it over. Try not to touch the back, because once this is on, I can't clean the inside, right? And then do my very best to line everything up. Okay. This part's not easy. It's very tricky. Okay, I'm starting from the bottom and feeling it all. Okay, that actually didn't go so bad. Okay. And then remove the last of it here. Let me get some Gorilla Tape. All right, so if you don't know this, these are the two best tools for removing masking tape. Gorilla Tape specifically. Don't try, I mean, you can try duct tape, but these two things, the plastic razor and the Gorilla Tape, seem to pick up masking tape the best. So I'm gonna use this to kind of grab the edge here and hopefully lift it up. Okay, that didn't work. There we go. Oh no,
my power just went out. There's been a storm outside and the power keeps going in and out, so just ignore that, guys. Sorry. And trying really hard not to touch the acrylic. Okay, so now I'm actually gonna pause and take a picture of this for my instructions that I'm also making this, you know, because you guys can get this as a file and I wanna make sure I get a good picture of that. So give me a second, guys. I'm gonna take my little backer here. And snap a photo really quick. Oh gosh. See, what stinks is how, you know, the glare you get from the acrylic. It's so hard. All right, so I'm gonna use cardboard to cover all the chaos and hopefully snap a decent photo. Got the photo, now we can continue. All right, so, okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, all right, so I'm ready to keep going. So just remember that, you know, I intended for it to have a veneer edge, but I ran out, so I'm just using pink acrylic this time. And I also want to show you, I could leave the file like this. I have seen some people sell those reward jars for kids, but I don't like how you can see the glue. I don't know if you can tell. Let me see if I can catch it right there in the light. You see? I don't like how that looks, and that's why I'm putting a frame over it to cover it and give it a little more of a finished look. Okay. So I'm going to do this the way I did it just a minute ago and start from the bottom, because that was easier than trying to frame it from the bottom and the top. That feels pretty good. And then guide it as I start to lay it down. Oh my gosh, that's the first time I actually lined it up perfectly. Every single one. Okay, great. So I'm almost done here, but I realized I forgot one more piece, and that's my little roof. So I need to cut another roof, you know, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and stick this down. There we go. Little sweethearts. Use my tape here to lift it up. Okay, I forgot to cut up this part, so I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. I've got my little roof that's gonna go right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the masking tape. All right, so just a note here. I haven't taken the time to really test my veneer settings on my Mira 5. I can already tell I've got too much power. And look, so much power that I practically lost the center of my little O here. You see that? I lost that little bit there. Fortunately, I still have it here. We'll see if I can salvage it and get it to go back in its spot. But this is a sign I need to take my time and dial in my settings here. Okay. Oh, I lost the other O. It'll have to do. Okay. Now I'm annoyed. I want to find that piece wherever it may be floating. Oh, there it is. It's on my tape. Don't act like this stuff never happens to you guys. You know it does. All right, get in there. So, tip, if you've never worked with veneer, you don't want too much power when you're doing your fill. There we go. Take that. Okay. Final part. Now I get to take off the cover. And finally, there we go. Then you take your little hearts, pop them in. How stinking cute is that? And we did it. And then how do they come out? They just drop out just like that. And then you use the stand to stand her up. Voila. We did it. All right, so now I have my finished product, and now the real work begins, right? I still have to create the listing in Etsy. I want to do some keyword research to make sure that I'm using the right keywords to get the product even seen on my Etsy shop. I've been toying with a website called eRank. I don't have enough experience with it yet to speak to you on it, but so far of the other ones I've tried, this is my favorite. I want to record video footage that I can repurpose and use on all of my different social media platforms. So I need to schedule it out for TikTok, Instagram, now the Etsy Explore page, which by the way, if you didn't know that, it's kind of like the TikTok, Instagram Reels version of Etsy. Need to post it there. I'll post it on my YouTube Shorts. I need to stage photos for the listing. There's a lot to be done. Oh, and create pins for Pinterest to try and create traffic. These are all efforts, marketing efforts that I'm doing to not have to pay for marketing. We'll see how it goes. And what else is there? I have to price the product. That's always such a doozy. Like, I am not an expert in pricing at all, and I know many of you feel the same way. I'm starting with, first of all, breaking down my costs. Like, how much did it actually cost me to make this thing? Okay, so pricing a product, that's not fun. So what did I do? Well, before I started to like stalk Etsy and see what comparable items are going for, I first wanted to know and understand what are my costs here. So I broke down what am I using per sheet and how that translates to how much I actually paid to make the finished product. So my cost to produce this is roughly $12. And that honestly feels kind of high for me, but I don't even know if I should have like a max on what I'm willing to pay for a product in terms of, supplies. So anyhow, I broke it down, it was $12. Then I went and I stalked Etsy and I looked for comparable items and saw, pretty much I was trying to see how much are the items going for, which is hard to do. And this is actually a good thing because the product I came up with doesn't exist yet on the market. There are similar items where you drop things in like reward jars, but that's for a whole different audience. That's for a customer that is shopping for children or a customer that's shopping for teachers. This is being sold, or I envision it more as like a home decor, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day kind of gift, or, home decor item. So when I looked at that kind of product, the price range was between like $40 and $60, and then you have to factor in, and I don't even know how you factor this in, so again, if you guys have advice on it, let me know, brand value, and I have somewhat of an established shop on Etsy, so does that work in my favor? I don't know. So I went with $54.99, and that's with 4 little hearts, not personalized. If people want the hearts personalized, that's gonna be an additional cost, and I'm doing that because I'm also hoping that, this could be a product that could potentially sell at a wholesale, at like a small shop. Like I could wholesale this product, and if it's wholesale or if it's selling in boutiques, then I can't have it personalized, right? So personalization is going to be an extra thing from my personal shop. So that's where I'm at. Now I have to do all of the other things to get it out there, and we'll see how it does. I am providing the file, so we'll also see how that goes. I'm gonna be selling the file, but I'm also gonna be selling the physical product. I don't know if that's gonna hurt me or work for me. But you know, this year is all about a whole new learning curve. So any tips you have, bring them on. I am like so ready to receive advice, and we'll see how it goes. And so my plan is at the end of the year, I'll look back at these products that I'm putting together and putting out there and really know, okay, what works, what doesn't, what do I want to bring back, what do I not want to bring back? And you know, that's the name of the game here, and we'll figure it out as we go together. So that's it. That's all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I hope you got something out of it. Please give me advice and comments below. I would totally appreciate it. That's all I've got for you today. So I'll see you guys here soon over at That Mom with a Laser. Bye, guys.